And it looks like we are coming back. They got the lights on. It's going to take a few minutes. And as you can see on the field, it's kind of a surreal color down there on the camera anyway. It's a whole lot brighter on the camera than it is in person. But the lights coming back on. And it looks like they're having a 3-minute rundown to start this game again. I was just looking at the radar, and it looks like there's a storm going to be to our southeast. But according to the future radar, it doesn't look like it's going to come this way. But it is getting brighter down there. Under 2.5 minutes remaining until they'll start this game again. Make sure I got all my equipment is up and running. And a whole lot of dust flying up over off the softball infield, which is across the football field from us. And it looks like the teams are getting ready to go again. Yeah, between the equipment problems and the light problems and everything, a storm coming up. This has been quite an evening up here. Minute and a half until they'll start this quarter up again. I believe there was a couple of minutes. I'm sure they wrote it down, but there was 2 or 3 minutes left in this quarter. And but once again, to recap, as you can see on your screen, the IndianHawks are leading this ball game 20-0 here in the first quarter. And the IndianHawks have scored on every possession. And the Van Far Indians just haven't been able to get any kind of an offense going. And we have 1 minute 48 seconds remaining in this first quarter. And we're going to get this. It's 3rd down and about 6 for the Van Far Indians. Once again, we have Verdell Johnson as the quarterback. And he has Tony Garland behind him. A couple of wide outs on each side. 3rd down and 6. And he almost dropped the ball, but he is brought down in the backfield. And once again, there is a loss of about, I'd say about 6 or 7 on that play. Brings up 4th down and about 12. So once again, Van Far is in 4th down. Clock is running with under 1.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. There's the punt. It is picked up by Jake Reimel. And he runs into several Van Far Indians. But he is back to about the 37-yard line. Looks like that's where they're going to place the ball, as the 37-yard line. And that is where the IndianHawks are going to take over. They're going to take over 1st and 10 from the Van Far Indians 37-yard line. 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Yates is back in a shotgun, and he's back to pass. Ball is tipped at the line, but it falls to the ground. He didn't get that pass up quite up high enough. Brings up 2nd and 10. Once again, Malik McPike on the far end. Kyle Martin here on the near end. And Yates is under center. Hand off to Zach Evans, and he is brought down at the line. Going to bring up 3rd and probably about 10. That time the Van Far line closed up that time. Yates is back in a shotgun position. He's going to keep it himself, and he's heading up the middle. Spins off a couple of tacklers, and he's pushed back to about the 28-yard line. So that brings up 4th down. That'd be IndianHawks' first 4th down of this game, 4th and 1. And that is the end of the first quarter. The score, the IndianHawks 20 and the Indians 0. Let's take a break.
At Elsberry Pharmacy and Medicine Shop in Troy, we know what a pharmacy is meant to be. We have numerous programs to help your wallet as well as save precious time. Save money with our RX Savings Club program, and you can save time with our medication synchronization program, where we fill your prescriptions at the same time each month. We also offer our medication adherence program to help you remember to take your medications on time as prescribed by your doctor. Better value, better service, better health care. Locally owned and operated, and proud to be your local independent pharmacy in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at MedicineShopRx.com. Hi, my name is Jerry Callahan, pharmacist and owner of the medicine shops in Troy and Elsberry Pharmacy. We strive every day to bring better service, better value, and better health care to our friends in our communities. We want to say thank you for your support, and we're proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at MedicineShopRx.com.
Okay, we are back for 4th down and 1. And Yates took off through the middle. He found a hole about the size of Merrimack Caverns, and he took off. And he is down, see where they marked the ball. About the 7 or 8 yard line maybe. Something like that. He's down around the 7 yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. Clock is running with minute 46. Yates under center. Passes it back, and that was Zach Evans, the ball carrier, and he is down. Can't really tell where he is. He was pushed out of bounds, though, right just before the goal line. Looks like they're placing the ball on about the 1 yard line. Yates under center, and he is dead. They have not signaled touchdown. They have not signaled it, so they place the ball. It looks like it's on about the half yard line or so. Can't really tell from this angle. Either way, it brings up 2nd and goal. 3rd and goal. Right, 3rd and goal. And they are inside the 1 yard line. He's under center. And he takes it to the outside, and he spins around, takes it to the outside, and is in for the touchdown. Another IndianHawks touchdown. That takes the score at this time 26-0. So Kyle Martin's going to be trying for an extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. 10-17 remaining in the first half. The score is 27 for the IndianHawks, 0 for the Vandalia Indians.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
Okay, back getting my scoreboard on my computer all caught up here. It is the second quarter now, 27-0 IndianHawks over the Vandalia Indians. 10-17 remaining in the first half. Kyle Martin getting ready to kick the ball off to Vandalia. There's the kick, long kick. And it goes out of bounds. Looks like it's out of bounds about the 3 maybe. 4-yard line. So that's where the Indians will take over. What are they doing here? They're bringing that ball up. Looks like they're lining up to kick it again. Not really sure what that was all about. But either way, they're kicking it again. Oh, I guess because it went out of bounds. So now they're kicking it from the 35-yard line. So Kyle Martin will kick again. And here is his kick. And it's a lot straighter this time. Vandalia has it. And he misses one tackle. And they finally pull him down around the 39 or 40-yard line. See where they place it. Looks like it's going to be right about the 40. Yeah, they put the ball right down on the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10, Vandalia from their own 40-yard line. See how well the IndianHawks can keep them from running this time. They haven't been able to put any kind of an offense together yet. Johnson back in the pistol. And false start that, he's been false starting every time, and they finally called it this time. Yep, there's the call, false start. Takes it back another 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. Once again, Verdell Johnson is back in a pistol position. And the ball is handed off to number 2, Bryce Irving. And he gets nowhere. Picks up a yard or two. Actually, he got back to the line of scrimmage. It is now 2nd and 5. Back in a shotgun. Ball is intercepted. Ball is intercepted. That is Landon Struss with that interception. So the IndianHawks will take over now at about the 25-yard line of Van Far. He was just standing there waiting for that ball to fall into his arms. Take that back, it's about the 24-yard line. These aren't the brightest stripes in the world. 9:22 remaining in the first half. 27-0 IndianHawks over the Indians. Yates back in the shotgun. Dumps it off to Zach Evans, and he misses one tackle. Finally brought down, looks like a gain of about 8 or 9 yards. And so it's going to be second and probably less than a yard at the about the 15-yard line. Inside the 15, I'd say. Once again, Yates has 2 backs with him. He's back in a pistol position. He hands off. Can't see who he handed off to. His 25 is Jake Reimel. No gain on the play, 3rd down. So 3rd and 1 from the 15-yard line. Van Far has closed up their defense a little bit this time. And there's Yates rolling out. Throws right through the receiver. That was intended for Landon Struss. Brings up 4th down. And that is the first 4th down for the IndianHawks tonight. As you probably saw go through, there was an ambulance pulled out of here. Okay, see what they're going to do here. Here's Yates back in a pistol position. Got 2 running backs with him, wide receiver on each side. Gives the ball to Zach Evans, and he takes off. He is inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal once again. So there's the 4th down conversion for the IndianHawks. Looks like the ball is going to be placed around the 7 or 8 yard line. 1st and goal. 7:39 remaining in the first half. Yates back in a pistol, and he's rolling out to pass. Oh, it almost intercepted. So very close to being intercepted. He tried crossing it back, and that was Julian Holtkamp that almost intercepted that ball. That stops the clock with 7:23 remaining in the first half. Scores 27-0. IndianHawks over the Indians. Kyle Martin on the far side. Malik McPike on the near side. And there is a timeout called on their 2nd and goal. Let's take a break.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right, we are back. Teams aren't back, but I am. 7:23 remaining in the first half. Score is 27-0. It's been all IndianHawks in this game. The Indians are starting to show a little bit of defense now. Matter of fact, they almost intercepted the ball here on that last play. And their defensive line doesn't have as many holes in it now, I don't think, as it did in the beginning of the game. But Kyle Martin to the far side, Malik McMike to the near side. Yates back in a pistol position, and he's back to pass. Passes over to Jake Reimel, and he is caught immediately and almost gets away from him. Loss of a few yards on the play. The announcer just said Rimmel. I thought he said Reynolds. Now I realized that he said Rimmel. He doesn't realize the name is Reimel. So that brings up 3rd down and goal from, looks like it's back. And he is running, drops the ball. Drops the ball, and Van Far has recovered it right at the goal line. Said Johnson recovered the ball. So instead of a touchdown, it is a turnover. And kind of looked to me like he just had one hand on the ball. And just as he was getting ready to cross the goal line, they knocked the ball out of his hand. So now we have Van Far. Instead of a touchdown for the IndianHawks, we have Van Far with 1st and 10. And the ball is being brought way up here. There must have been a penalty. Ball is up on the 20-yard line. All right, I was just told, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. The ball was in the end zone whenever they fell on it. I thought it was just outside the end zone, but it was in the end zone, so that makes it a touchback. That's why it's up on the 20. Either way, it's Van Far's ball, and it is handed off once again to Tony Garland, and he really gets nothing. He picked up. Well, they're giving him maybe three and a half yards or so, something like that. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Johnson back in a pistol position. 3 wide receivers far side, 1 on the near side. Hands it off once again to Tony Garland, and he is swallowed up after maybe a yard or so. And that brings up 3rd and about 4. So far tonight, Van Far has not made a first down. They've had to punt on every possession. So they're back, and once again, Yates in a pistol position. 3 wide receivers on the near side. And Yates does not make it up to the line of scrimmage. He escaped 1 tackle and could not escape the 2nd tackle. He was slowed down enough. They could not escape that 2nd tackle. So 4th down for the Indians. Looks like about 6 yards. And they're going to, everybody's switching sides here. And see what they're going to do. See if maybe they're going to try for a fake punt here. Oh, no, they're going for it, looks like. Hands the ball up the middle, and nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. That was Bryson Lay as the ball carrier, and that's a turnover on downs. Turnover on downs for Van Far, and so the IndianHawks will take over 1st and 10. The ball is placed at about the Van Far 24.5-yard line. So 1st and 10, back for your IndianHawks. And Yates back in a pistol position. He has Zach Evans, looks like, back here with him. He's back to pass, and he's under some pressure. And we have a penalty marker down, and Yates goes down hard, but there is a penalty marker down here in the back. And it is a hold. So that ball is coming back. It is now going to be 1st down, and see, that's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and that hold was pretty far back here. So what do they got to do here? They got to go to about the 15-yard line, and they are on the 41-yard line. So it's about 1st and 26. Whatever it is, it's a long way. Yates under center. Gives the ball to Reimel. Reimel cuts up through the middle. And he picks up about, looks like about 6 yards or so. They placed the ball up there. So that's between 7 and 8 yards he picked up. So we're going to have 2nd down and about 17 to 18. Scoreboard showing 18 to go. Yates under center once again. He's back to pass, and he's just going to run it on the outside. And he pushes his way up through there and finally goes out of bounds, and now he's favoring his ankle. He's running it off now. He picked up several yards there. Still not a 1st down, though. See where they're going to mark it down. Looks like it's going to be about 3rd down and about 7. Time out on the field. So with timeout on the field, 2:44 remaining in the 1st half. Let's take a break.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
All right, we are ready to go back again. Timeout is over, and Yates is back in the pistol position. Looks like Zach Evans back with him. No, I'm sorry, it's Jake Reimel. He's back to pass, and he's got plenty of time. And the pass is complete to Zach Evans. And see where they mark that ball. Can't tell where they're marking it. Oh, they call it an incomplete pass. I thought it was a complete pass because he took off with it. I guess maybe it touched the ground at the same time that he caught it. So it is now 3rd and about 7. The line of scrimmage is about the 22-yard line of Van Far. I'm sorry, 4th down. Yates is back to pass. And ball is almost intercepted. The pass was high for the intended receiver. I think that's Zach Evans it was intended for. It was over his head, and the ball kind of slipped off his fingers and went up in the air. So the IndianHawks turn this ball over on downs, and Van Far will take over 1st and 10 from about the 22-yard line. .222 remaining in the first half. 27-0, IndianHawks over the Indians. And flags immediately as soon as the ball is snapped. And that is a false start on the Van Far Indians. So we're going to have a 1st and 15. Meanwhile, Johnson, I'll get the name right here. Johnson's back in a pistol. He hands off, and the ball runner slipped and fell. That is Bryson Lay. He slipped and fell in the backfield. We got a few raindrops coming in here. Actually, you look out at the lights, and you can see some rain falling down. Get my computer out of the line of fire here. And Johnson is back to pass, and the pass is incomplete. Intended receiver was number 7, Garrett Schmidt. So that brings up 3rd down and about 15. I think that little shower disappeared just about as fast as it got here. I don't see anything now. And so 3rd and 15. Johnson back in a pistol position. And he hands off. And that runner picks up maybe 2 or 3 yards. No, maybe a yard. Brings up 4th and about 12 to 13. So, clock is running with a little over a minute to go in the first half. And another timeout called. IndianHawks are wanting to save some of the time for themselves.
Message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. These days, the concept of value matters more than ever, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around.
All right. We are back. 1 minute, 3 seconds remaining in the first half. It is 4th down and 12 for the Van Far Indians. And they are back to punt. See if that's what they really do. Yes, they do. And the ball goes out of bounds. Ball goes out of bounds about right at the 50-yard line. Right where he's standing. And they finally stopped the clock. It had been running. The clock is showing 38.8. Now they just raised it up to 102. It was just super light shower coming down. I'm sitting here with no windows in front of me. But anyway, IndianHawks take over 1st and 10 from just inside. They're just into Indians territory. Yates is back to pass. Jake Reimel with the reception. And he is brought down after about a 2-3 yard gain. 53 seconds showing on. 53 seconds showing on the clock. Well, they started that clock up. So it is now 2nd down and about 6 or 7. Back to pass, and Kyle Martin with the reception and the 1st down. That stops the clock with 30.2 seconds remaining. Hurry up offense here. Yates is under center. And he spikes the ball. 24.5 seconds remaining in this first half. And now, like I said, it's going to be 3rd down. Well, it's 4th down now. They spiked the ball on 3rd down. Okay, they just changed it all back. Yeah, that's right. It's going to be 2nd down now. 2nd and 10. They'd just gotten the 1st down. Yates is back in a shotgun. And he is hit just. He's hit just as he releases the ball. I guess that. I guess they call that an incomplete forward pass. Once again, 18.2 seconds remaining in the first half. Be 3rd and 10. Yates back to pass. Long pass over the middle. And he has Kyle Martin for a touchdown. So with 9.5 seconds remaining, beautiful pass play there from Yates to Kyle Martin. And that takes the score to 33-0. And Kyle Martin will now, after making the pass, receiving the pass. After receiving the pass, he's going to now try to kick the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. 9.5 seconds remaining in the first half. The score is 34-0. All right, this has been an all IndianHawks game so far. Van Far can't seem to get anything to happen. And the IndianHawks have either scored or threatened to score on every possession they've had. The one time they didn't score was when they fumbled it just outside the end zone. So now Kyle Martin getting ready to kick again. Sort of a squib kick there, picked up by Van Far. And he is brought down at the 40-yard line. 3.4 seconds remaining in the first half. Van Far will take over 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. I don't believe that Van Far has crossed the 50-yard line yet this game. I don't think they've had a first down, and I don't think they've crossed the 50-yard line. I'm going to try to find that out at halftime, but I don't believe they have. Johnson's back in shotgun. He has Tony Garland back there with him. 3 wide receivers on the near side. He looks to run. He tosses over to Garland, and Garland is pushed out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. But that is the end of the first half. The score is 34-0 IndianHawks over the Van Far Indians. So let's play a couple of commercials here.
Real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker at our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about. We all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
People's Bank and Trust knows that every minute of your day counts, so it's good to have a few time savers on your side. Take internet banking, for example. It allows you to bank from home rather than having to make an extra trip to the bank just to check your balance, transfer funds, or view recent transactions. You can even pay your bills online, eliminating a trip to the post office for stamps. Best of all, People's Bank and Trust offers all of this free of charge. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net and sign up today. Just another example of hometown banking the way it should be. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right. Looks like they are having, I guess it's homecoming activities. Didn't realize this was homecoming night. And whether it is, I might be wrong on that. It might not be homecoming. Not really sure. But there some kind of pageantry going on. So while this is going on, let's just take a break here. I'm going to leave the broadcast going, but let's just take a break. And we are back. I'm getting some stats here. Okay, we're getting some stats here on the, first of all, for Van Far, there's very little to talk about in the way of stats. They didn't have any first downs at first half. I don't believe they ever crossed the 50-yard line. And comes up with about 11 yards total. 11 total yards in the first half. Otherwise, for the IndianHawks, they have 114 passing yards, 215 rushing yards. Yates has 100 yards by himself, and couldn't get a final count on the TDs. Yates has at least one and maybe two. Kyle Martin, I believe, has two touchdowns, and that leaves another touchdown out there, and I don't remember now who got it. But we are down to less than a minute to go. All right, they just started the three-minute countdown. So let's throw a commercial in here.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird looks showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
All right, minute and 20 remaining until they start this second half. And like I said, I went over a few stats with you. The specific numbers aside, it has been all Clopton Elsberry IndianHawks. Van Far has not been able to get anything going. And I don't really see any changes in the second half, but you never know. Again, that's why they play the second half. And, you can't just say, well, one half of football, it's 34-0. Let's just forget the second half. So you can't do that. But at some point in time, they're going to come up with a running clock. I'm not sure when that is. I don't know if it's I think it's at 30 points for the second, and it might only be the fourth quarter that they do that. It changes with the level of football. I know I announced some junior football games, and they will go to a running clock in the third quarter. And it's the junior football tackle games. And so we are ready to start this third quarter, start the second half. Kyle Martin to kick off for the IndianHawks. There's the kick. Takes a bounce there, and Van Far picks it up. And let's see, that was Bryson Lay was the ball runner there. And that ball was run up to the 41-yard line. So Van Far will start 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. See what they're waiting on now. Johnson back in the pistol position. He's got I formation. He's got one running back with him, and he is off to the races. I don't believe he's going to get through. He's down to about the 23-yard line. See who that is. That was number 2, Bryson Lay, with that run. And that is by far the best offensive play for Van Far tonight. That is the first time they've crossed the 50-yard line in this game. He found himself a hole on the outside, and he took advantage of it. Okay, once again, Lay's the runner, and now he is swallowed up at the line. He picked up maybe 2 yards. And so once again, Lay is the running back behind Johnson. Handed off to him again. He goes to the outside, and there is nothing there. He is brought down just about the line of scrimmage. He actually lost about a half a yard. Brings up 3rd down. Clock is running with 10.5 minutes in the 3rd quarter. Score is 34-0. IndianHawks over the Indians. Ball handed off to number 2 again, Bryson Lay, and he is down. He picks up maybe 2 or 3 yards. So we're going to have 4th and about 4. Van Far has not been able to convert a 4th down yet tonight. I'm sure they're going to go for this for the field position they're in. "15 seconds left on the play clock. Johnson still getting some plays called in from the sidelines. And false start, I believe, is going to be on the Indians. It was flagged down immediately. And that is the call. So that takes it back to 4th and about 9. Yeah, 4th down and 9 yards to go. Hasn't been a whole lot of penalties here in this game tonight. There's been some, and most of them have gone against Van Far. But there hasn't been a whole lot. Some of these games, it's just tremendous amount of penalties. Gives it to number 2, Lay again, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And I don't see any penalty markers down, so turnover on downs, it's going to be IndianHawks 1st and 10 from about the 23-yard line, their own 23-yard line. Yeah, they place the ball a little farther up, about the 24-yard line. So let's see how the IndianHawks do in this second half with a 34-point lead. Yates Passes laterally, and Malik McPike is brought down after about a yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9. Looks like Van Far read that play pretty well. $8:55 remaining in the third quarter. Still 34-0. 2nd and 9 for the IndianHawks from about the 25-yard line. And that is, I believe, Zach. I can't see his number right offhand, but I believe, yep, Zach Evans is the ball carrier. And he picks up about 8 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 1. So 3rd and 1. Kyle Martin coming out to the near side. Probably Malik McPike on the other end. I can't really tell. And Yates is under center, and there's Zach Evans. And he broke through that line, picked up about 15 yards. All right, they put the ball back about the 40, just a little on the outside of the 45-yard line. Brings up 1st and 10. New set of downs for the IndianHawks. Yates under center again. Wide out on each end. Back to pass. A little bit of pressure. And okay, there's a flag. I believe there's going to be some pass interference there. That was Malik McPike was the intended receiver, and he had about 3 Indians on him before the ball ever got out of Yates' hand. Pass interference. Once again, penalty is on the Indians. What are they going to do here? They're not setting the ball. All right, they are going to. It's not the spot of the foul. So it's a 15-yard penalty instead of spot of the foul penalty. Automatic 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the IndianHawks at the Van Far 40-yard line. Yates in the shotgun, gives it to Jake Reimel. Nice little hole there he found, and he's up near the 1st down. He's not quite there. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Picked up 9 yards on that. 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Yates under center. Hands it off to Jake Reimel, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. But I believe he's going to get the 1st down anyway. That is the case. He does get the 1st down. He was tripped up at the line. So it's 1st and 10. Brand new set of downs at the 29-yard line. All right, Yates back in a shotgun. 2 backs with him. There's a pass. And it is caught. And that is a touchdown. That is Malik McPike, I believe. So Malik McPike wants to join in on this fun. 6:08 remaining in the third quarter. The score is now 40-0. So Kyle Martin with the extra point attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. 6:08 remaining in the third quarter. Score is now IndianHawks 41 and the Vanfar Indians 0. So get the camera turned back here to where Kyle Martin's going to kick off from the 40-yard line. It has definitely cooled off here tonight. So Kyle Martin gets ready for the kick. There's the kick. Vanfar picks it up and it goes right in, gets tackled at about the 35-yard line. And that is where Vanfar Indians will take over 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Clock is running with 5:32 remaining. And play gets brought in, and Johnson is back in a pistol position. He's passing, and the pass receiver was over his head. Let me adjust this camera just a little bit. All right, once again, Johnson back in a shotgun, or in a pistol, actually. Hands it off. I think it was to number 2, Lay, and he is hit behind the line. He lost about 2 yards on that, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 12. Let's just see what's going to happen here. Johnson's back in a pistol. He takes a snap and rolls out to his left and has the ball, and there's got a 1st down and is brought down in IndianHawks territory. So that's the 2nd 1st down of the game for Vanfar. And so they are about the 47-yard line of the IndianHawks. And we have a running clock going. First and 10, Vanfar Indians. Johnson's rolling out to pass, and the intended receiver was not there. Brings up 2nd and 10. If you'd turn away from it a little bit, I could see that was for Van Far. That was number 42. Austin Taylor was the intended receiver. Johnson still back in the pistol. He's got a wide receivers on the far side and one out here on the near side. He rolls to his left, takes off running, and he has a first down. He's broken through, and Johnson with that run and picked up another first down for Van Far. So they are down around the 21-yard line. A little over a minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. First and 10, Van Far. Johnson back in the pistol. Has got movement on their line, and the ball was stripped, and I believe the IndianHawks have the ball. So that drive was stopped. IndianHawks ball, first and 10 from their own 27-yard line. That was just stripped right out of his hand. Less than a minute remaining in the third quarter. Okay, Yates back in a shotgun, one back with him. Pass is tipped. Looks like that ball was intended for Malik McPike. So 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and I would say that this quarter is going to run down. Brings up second and 10. They're going to let this clock run down. So at the end of three quarters, the score is the IndianHawks 41, the Van Far Indians 0.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
All right, we are out here. 12 minutes remaining in this game, and I believe they're going to be 12 running minutes with the score of 41-0. And second and 10. Second and 10 for the IndianHawks as they switch the ends of the field. They have about 3/4 of the field to go. They are second and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Get the camera moved back down here. And so Yates is back. He's got Reimel with him back there. And looks like Zach Evans. Can't really see the number 5. They're holding up the game so somebody can cross the field. I guess I should be wondering why the chicken crossed the road, but it's not a chicken. Anyway. Yates in the shotgun, and he is sacked. He tried to turn around and hand the ball off, and I believe there was some confusion there in the backfield. So that's going to bring up third down and about 13. He was brought down. The Vanfar defense came up pretty quick on that one. So third and 13. 11:21 remain. 11:20 now. Yates back in the shotgun. Two wideouts on the far end, one on the near side. He's back to pass. He passes over to Reimel. And he was brought down just about almost original line of scrimmage. So now we're down to a 4th and about 11. 4th and 11. Now, see if they're going to go for. I got a feeling they might punt this away. I don't know. They have not had to punt yet tonight. That looks like what they're going to do, though. They're going to punt this one away. Looks like Malik McPike for the punt. Nice kick. Nice kick. Number 2, Lay, has the ball, and he has broken through a couple of people, and he's still going, and I'm seeing yellow flags flying out of everybody. Looks like it's just raining yellow flags. Let's see what these calls are going to be. There was a bunch of flags, though. Usually those flags on something like that mean illegal blocks. Okay, holding. Is that the only call, holding? Looks like that's holding against Vanfar. They just can't catch a break tonight on their penalties. That ball was up around the 52, 53-yard line, and it's going way back. It's back to the 35-yard line now. So with under 9 minutes to go in this ball game, Vanfar has the ball 1st and 10 from just inside their 35-yard line. They have one in motion. Back to pass. And there's a long pass forward, and he was right there. Who was that? That was Garrett Schmidt. Ball was intended for. Brings up 2nd and 10. A little over 8 minutes remaining. And Johnson is back in a pistol position again. One runner in motion. Pass, and this time the pass is complete. That pass is to Garrett Schmidt. Cross midfield to about the 52-yard. They don't have a 52-yard line. How about to the 48-yard line? And 1st and 10 for Vanfar. The announcer just said the 51-yard line. So I don't feel so bad saying the 52-yard line. Johnson was back to pass, and he's dropped the ball, and he was able to fall on it and save it. But that puts Vanfar line of scrimmage back at about the 45-yard line. Loss of about 7 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 17. Six and a half minutes remaining. They have one in motion, hands it off to Lay, and Lay is brought down at the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe a yard. Brings up 3rd down and about 16. Third and 15 from the 46-yard line. Back to pass. And the ball was intended for, can't tell who that is. I can't see his numbers that well. 40-something. 42, Austin Taylor. Ball was intended for him. Not there. That brings up 4th down. 4th and about 15 or 16. Nice punt there by Van Far. Ball is down around the 21-yard line. Downed by Van Far, and 21-yard line is where the IndianHawks will take over. 1st and 10 with 4:40 remaining in this ball game. IndianHawks leading 41-0. So the IndianHawks are going to come out 1st and 10. I'm just guessing they're going to keep the ball on the ground. Well, I guess that really doesn't matter. The clock's running either way. So they can try any play they want. Yates back in the shotgun. Got 2 runners right beside him. And that looks like Reimel up the middle. Picks up about 3 or 4 yards. Okay, they said it was Zumwalt. I just saw the... I thought it was 25. Obviously, it was number 20. Can't always see those numbers real well from up here. 3 3/4 minutes remaining. Same lineup for the offense. And another run up the middle. Looks like he's about a yard shy of the 1st down. They put the ball down, and it's going to be, they're going to come out and measure. They are stopping the clock to bring, I guess even in a game like this, they got to keep everything official. I mean, if it's a 1st down, it's a 1st down. If it's not, it's not.
I'll let you all know that we got half-price hot dogs at the concession stand.
And it is a 1st down by half a ball. First and 10 for the Clopton Elsberry IndianHawks. We've heard that quite a bit tonight. Clock started again, under 3 minutes to go. Yates to pass, and the ball is almost intercepted. That was Austin Taylor. Knocked that ball down, just almost intercepted. 2.5 minutes. .27 seconds on the play clock. Yates is under center. You got Zach Evans behind him and Zumwalt behind him. Zumwalt gets the ball and breaks through and does a lot of running laterally. He ran about 4 minutes and picked up 3 yards. So it brings up 3rd down and 6. 1.5 minutes remaining in this ball game. Ball is on the 35-yard line. Yates back in the shotgun, gets it. He's looking to pass. He passes up the middle, and I believe that Zach Evans has the ball now with the 1st down, and he is brought down at about the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. 1 minute remaining in the ball game. So 42 seconds remaining in this ball game. Yates back in the shotgun. Back to pass, and he's looking for somebody to pass to, and he's just going to take off running. And he runs out of bounds. Picks up about 6 yards. But again, 20 seconds remaining on a running clock. Looks to me like if they even run another play, I don't think they're going to run another play. 8 seconds to go. Final score of this ball game. The Clopton Elsberry IndianHawks 41 and the Vandalia Indians 0. So this was quite the offensive and defensive display put on by the IndianHawks. Let's get a commercial in here real quick before the post game.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird luck showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
All right, so there is a victory for the Clopton Elsberry IndianHawks. They are now 2-2 on the season, and that was a decisive victory, and I mean very decisive. They started off, they dominated the game from the opening kickoff all the way through the final siren at the end of the fourth quarter. It was just they couldn't seem to do much wrong. Every time they had the ball, they needed a fourth down or had a fourth down. They needed to get their first down. They were able to get it, and their defense held the Indians to until the third and fourth quarter. They didn't have hardly any offensive yardage at all. Okay, they were held the entire game. The Vandalia Indians were held to 94 yards, and virtually all of that came in the second half. They There was just nothing there for Van Far. It was just one of their off nights, and everything went right for the IndianHawks. So until next week, next Friday, we'll be at Wright City and be taking on the Wildcats of Wright City. So once again, join me for that broadcast, and we will see you next Friday night. This is Kenny Masterson for the Indian Sports Network saying good night from Vandalia.